Angie here, Holly's here again, and it's that time of the week, Talk Tuesday, and I am going to answer a Cora question. It's a long question today, but I wanted to do a video for this person because this person has requested my answer personally, and with the type of question it is, I think it's better coming on a video, and I think the message is important for a lot of people as well, which is why I wanted to put this on my page. Okay, so the overall topic is going to be on, negative mind programming and on how easy it is for us to program our minds negatively, which we don't want. Okay, and I just want to help you recognize when that might be happening. But first of all, I want to answer this person's question. I'm not going to give names, I never do that, it's all personal. But the question is a long one. And it says, I tried hypnosis, but my OCD kept on having intrusive thoughts about wanting to do bad things. Should I be concerned that I may have accidentally programmed my mind to want to do these things? Okay, so first of all, whoever it is that's written this question, the main thing that you should be thinking about is, did you want to do bad things before you had the hypnosis? All right, was this something that happened to you anyway? Or is it only started happening after you had the hypnosis? So for me as a hypnotherapist, I would be really surprised if any hypnotherapist out there would deliberately put negative thoughts into someone's mind. Okay, that's not what a proper qualified, respectable hypnotherapist would do. And so if you have any concerns about that, then have a word with the hypnotherapist that did the hypnotherapy on you. Tell them your concerns, and just see what they say. In terms of wanting to do bad things now and having these repetitive thoughts in your mind, you really do need to see a doctor. Okay, so wherever it is you live, go to your nearest medical centre and make an appointment. Okay, I think it is important that you speak to someone about this, okay, to protect yourself and other people as well. As I say, you don't give any detail as what the bad things are, but you really do need to speak to someone. Hypnotherapy isn't good enough at, for this sort of thing. You need a doctor, someone like that, okay? But the thing that your question has raised here is how important it is to watch what you're doing with your mind, okay? If the hypnosis that you did was something maybe that you did online or something like that, where you don't know whether the person was a real hypnotherapist, then that is worrying. I've got my YouTube channel. I do a lot of Subliminal videos on there. I get a lot of requests for things that people want. It can be anything, from trying to, get younger skin or trying to lose weight. Or you can do subliminal recordings for getting positive mindset about money and that sort of thing. And, I know that I am only creating subliminals that are good for people. I would never do anything negative, but a lot of people wouldn't know that, okay? A lot of people who listen to my subliminals are putting a lot of trust in me. And there's a lot of people out there who are the same as me. They put in hypnosis tracks on YouTube, they're putting subliminal hypnosis tracks on there, and they're perfectly safe because those people genuinely want to help others. But there are some on there that you don't know, so it's a risk that you're taking whenever you have hypnotherapy or you listen to subliminals or affirmations or guided meditations or anything like that. You're taking a risk because you don't know that person. So unless you really know and trust that person, then I wouldn't do anything like that. Okay, because you don't know whether those people are putting negative messages in. So just to explain how it works, for those who don't know, your conscious mind obviously is the mind that you use, when you're doing calculations, when you're concentrating, focusing, what's going on. Okay, but then in the background you've also got your subconscious mind, which is the most powerful bit, and that can cause your behaviours, any habits that you've got to change depending on what messages are going into it. So for example, this person is saying that since they've had this hypnosis, that they've had these bad thoughts. So somehow there's either some negative suggestions have gone in to that person's subconscious mind, Or perhaps because you were a bit scared of having hypnotherapy, okay, maybe you've created this fear. Okay, so you've actually created this because you were scared of the hypnotherapy. It could be anything, which is why I've said to go to the doctor, because it could be anything really, okay, that you've got. OCD, if I would never treat OCD with traditional hypnotherapy, and as with most things, because it's like putting that plaster on, as I've said before, it's not getting down to the root cause of why you have OCD. Okay, so OCD, for those of you who might not be aware, but I'm sure most of you are, is the obsessive compulsive disorder, where you feel like you have to do certain things. It's like you can't stop yourself, and it might not have any rational sense whatsoever. So, you know, you might have to switch the light switch on and on 4 or 5 times every time you come into a room, otherwise you think something bad's going to happen to you or your family. It's stuff like that. But there'll be a reason why you're doing that. And the reason is because the subconscious mind thinks that that's protecting you in some way. All right. And as with everything that happens and everything that you do that you don't have a rational explanation for, it's to do with something that happened in childhood or in a past life. Okay, it's one of those 2 things. So I would use rapid transformational therapy on someone with OCD because I would want to get right down to the root cause of why that happened, and then we drill down to, you know, when did it first start happening, and trying to find the connection, because only when you can find out why it's been happening is when you can start to clear it. All right. So having thoughts of harm, you know, doing bad things, harming yourself or others, that is a serious form of OCD. And as I say, I would not work with someone like that. I would say go to your doctor, and then only if the doctor referred back, then and only then would I work with that person. Okay. But I just wanted to finish with other ways that you can negatively program your mind without even realising it. Okay. And, you know, day in, day out, especially now, this at the time of coming on here now with all the COVID going on, there's all this negative messaging, isn't there, everywhere. All right. And it's going into our subconscious mind, whether we know it or not. It's all going in there. And one of the easiest ways for it to go in is, believe it or not, watching or listening to the news when you're doing other things. Okay, because the only way we can get messages into our subconscious mind is when our conscious mind lets it go in. Okay, which is why we put people into a trance state under hypnosis, because the conscious mind's relaxed, so the messages and the positive suggestions will go straight in to the subconscious mind, where, you know, it can help the person. All right. The same thing can happen with negative messages. All right. So the worst thing that you can do is to sit there at night, okay, maybe reading a book, going on your iPad, phone, or whatever it is, while you've got the news on in the background. Okay. Because you're not consciously listening to that news. You might be reading a book, concentrating on your book. Okay, so while you're concentrating on reading the words on that page, all those messages from that news is going straight into your subconscious mind. It's just like you having hypnotherapy. All right. Every now and again, something on the news might catch your attention, which just proves it's going in. Your ears are hearing it's going into your subconscious mind. Something on the news might catch your attention. You might put your book down for a minute and watch it. And that's just like what happens in hypnotherapy. Okay, the person's in a trance state, but if you know, their car alarm goes off, they're going to come straight back to consciousness and go and deal with that. Okay, because that's what happens. So it is proof that those messages are going in. So I would say to you, never ever have anything that could be negative on the TV or on the radio when you're concentrating on something else. Okay, so on the flip side, one of the best things that you can do is to have, while you're reading the book, instead of having the news on all those negative messages, have a chance then to program your mind positively. So if you want to, as I say, if you don't trust anyone on YouTube, be careful. Unless you totally trust them, don't listen to any affirmations or anything like that unless you trust them. Or you can just make your own. So record all your positive affirmations, okay, and then just play it back on a loop while you're reading, and then all that will be going in. So instead of having negative going in, make sure that your positive's going in. Okay, so just be careful of that. Okay, so negative program can get in your mind from everywhere. And the person who's written this question, it might not have been the hypnosis that you had that's done all what's happening to you now, it could just be what I've said. Okay, you've had this negative messaging going in, everyone has, and you know, it's even worse when you've just got it on in the background and you're concentrating on something else. So just be wary of that. I hope that's answered your question on Cora. Please go and see a doctor, and I hope you get yourself sorted. And everyone else, just be careful what messages you're letting go in your mind. Okay, let's all try and stay positive if we can, and I will see you next time. Bye for now. See you soon. Bye.